So, good evening, good morrow, and good day, and welcome to Slice and Dice here with our first ever tale from the Sword Coast. We've had some technical issues, and that's why I'm doing this for the second time, those of you watching live on the stream. But as you can see, we've got some all-new players here today from a new campaign that, well, I say a new campaign, a current campaign which we'll be picking up on the stream from next week, which Angelique, to my left here, will be DMing and has been doing for... It's only been a few months, but it's like feels like we've done so much.
We started end of January.
It feels like way longer. But anyway, we're going to be picking that up on the channel from this time next week. Today was meant to be a sort of startup kind of a sort of aperitif, if you like, to give you a taster of the Sword Coast, and also to also test out software and iron out any problems with streaming, which it seems we've done already today, so that's great. D&D, yay! Okay, so more D&D coming to Slice and Dice. I hope you guys enjoy. So anyway, today's one-shot is called The Amphail Assassin, and it's one I've come up with myself, and our heroes, or adventurers, because they may not be heroes, have recently arrived in Amphail, and at Amphail Manor, as to hear a briefing from Lord Ophid and the investigation that apparently needs to be carried out to put to bed the Amphail assassin, and also to finally get Lord Ophid the support he needs from the Lord's Alliance and from the Order of the Gauntlet to drive out the Wardens, a troublesome tribe of wood elves located in the westward north of the village. So, as you guys have been waiting patiently, very patiently, in the in the courtyard, Captain Derek, asks you all to stand to attention as Lord Ophid enters the room. Some of you noticeably don't. And Lord Ophid is no fool. He notices straight away.
Some more rum, Martin.
Lord Ophid, you see, is quite a short man, bespectacled, but very, very lean as well. At first, some of you mistake him for a halfling because of his short stature, but he is in fact human. Thank you. Yes.
Sorry.
Something
I
funny.
elbow Rurik. You're Rurik, not to his face.
Sorry.
Seems my posters have attracted quite a crowd. Well, first of all, let me thank the representatives of my friends, the Lord's Alliance, for heeding the call in my time of need. My thanks, too, to Hand Shatterstone and the Order of the Gauntlet, whose presence in this village is a pillar of stability and reassurance. I'm sorry if this investigation is a waste of time, but my word apparently does not hold the sway that it once did anyway. As for the rest of you adventuring types, and he immediately pans around the group, notably halting over Rurik Ironballs and Nera, be warned. Despite recent events, Amphail is and always has been a place of peace. I will not tolerate any violence or any other underhanded behavior in my village. If we suspect you of causing trouble, watch Captain Derek here and the rest of the guards will not hesitate to apprehend you, or use lethal force if necessary. Is that...
Don't mind him, he has a cold.
Well, I hope he heard me over his choking.
Oh, I'm sure, I'm sure. You did, didn't you, Rurik?
Right.
He rolls his eyes. 3 months ago, I was attacked by an assassin posing as one of my staff. Unfortunately, the guards couldn't find them and the assassin escaped. Since then, we have had increased security and reduced my staff. However, 3 days ago, I was attacked again in my own bedchamber. This time, thankfully, I managed to slay the villain myself. No. Notably not.
How do you know?
The assassin bore the mark of the Wardens, a group of savage woodland elves that haunt the westward. Some of you may have heard of them. We know that the Wardens are behind this. They have been attacking caravans and disrupting business in the village for months. But now I have the proof. As I said, this may be a waste of time for all of you, but the factions need to see the proof with their own eyes. So, if you want proof, there are 2 places I can suggest you carry out your investigation. First of all, feel free to explore my bedchamber. There's a broken window which the assailant came in through. The front door was kept under guard.
That'll be fun.
I can think of nothing worse than exploring your bed.
Oh, that will be fun.
I can think of nothing worse than having you explore my bedchamber, sir, but these are desperate times.
I've got to be desperate to explore your bedchamber, my lord.
I assume you want us to go into your bedchamber via the back passage.
Quiet, Captain Derek steps forward. Quiet! Let the Lord speak. Thank you, Derek. Yes, the front door was kept under guard. It is the only entrance, apart from apparently the window, to my chamber. I have asked the guard on duty that night to wait there to answer your questions, should you have any pertinent to the case. Also, the assassin's body has been kept at the Temple of Chantea. Brother Peel will be interring it tomorrow. You have until the end of the day to examine the corpse. Other than that, you are of course free to roam the village as you see fit, but, as I said, any trouble from any of you, and my guards will take you into custody. We don't take kindly to interlopers here. And looks pointedly at Nira for this, and Manu.
What is this,
What did I
Mr.
do?
Shat?
I'm sorry, what?
Who's Mr. Shat?
Who's the what?
Mr. Shat, Han Shatterstone.
Yes, Han Shatterstone. He is he's a representative of the Order of the Gauntlets. In the village. And need I warn you, avoid the westward. We've tried to penetrate the forest before, but the Wardens were too prepared. They've laid many traps inside the forest and are expert ambushers. That's why I need the support of the factions to crush the rebels once and for all. I appreciate your cooperation. You are dismissed. And he immediately turns on his heels and leaves the room. He stops. He stops and wheels around. Yes?
What is this mark of the Wardens that you say was on the intercept?
Good question.
Clearly you're not from Amphail, but the Wardens carry themselves an emblem. It is a pendant with a tree and has a W engraved into the trunk. As far as we're aware, all Wardens carry this symbol, and the assassin was found with such a symbol.
Well, thank you.
W, was that?
Like trees.
W tree.
I trust that will be all. And he moves into the next room. Watch Captain Derek.
Man who's been making notes on his hand. He needs another hand. And this one's. And has anyone got?
I can get you a hand.
Death reaches into his pack and pulls out his inkwell and pen. Quill.
Excellent. What's that for?
You requested a pen.
Oh, right, yes, of course. Didn't recognise it.
Do you want the pen?
Yeah.
He hands over the inkwell and...
Man who writes a big W on his palm.
Watch Captain Derek steps forward at this point. So you so you have your orders. Proceed as you.
I've got an order. I've got an order. I'll have 2 meat and an ale.
I definitely think that we should go and investigate the bedchamber via the back entrance and the kitchen.
Back entrance, you say?
Yeah.
The rest of the manor is out of bounds, sir. This is private property.
How are we going to get to the bedroom?
You will be escorted to the bedchamber by one of my guards.
Can I ask you,
Would
where
the
was...
guards going to take us through the back passage? Up the back passage to the bedroom?
There is no back passage.
Oh.
That's not what he said, though. He said there was a back passage.
There was no mention of a back passage. Right.
I definitely heard back passage.
Right. I will show you to the bedchamber. Come
By
now
the
or
back
come
passage.
never. By the front passage. By the front and
Front
only
you
passage.
say. Ah.
And he just
I
like,
see.
and he starts. He
Rorik,
heads
play
out.
nice.
Heads out of the room. He-
Death follows closely behind him and taps him on the shoulder.
Yes. Can I help you?
Where was the assassin killed?
In the back passage.
He was killed
that's
in the
Howard's
bedchamber. He broke through the window and assaulted the Lord in his sleep. Fortunately, the Lord managed to fight him off. Her off, sorry.
Ah, you say.
The assassin was a female.
Hang on a minute.
As far as I understand, yeah.
The
But what-
Lord was asleep.
This
and someone
changes everything.
broke in and attacked him whilst he was asleep. They were skillful enough to get in his bedroom while he was asleep, and he somehow woke up and killed them in his nightshirt.
Well, I don't know how well you sleep, Master Half-Orc, but generally when a window smashes next to you, it tends to wake you up.
So who killed the
Depends
female?
how much rum I've drunk.
Lord Ophid killed the assassin himself.
Wait,
But she
what?
must have been about a foot tall. The man's a midget. He makes me look huge.
As I'm sure you're aware, some of you shorter members here, height isn't everything. You can still kill something much larger than you, can you not?
But I'm wider than I am tall.
No comments, sir. Anyway, and he just continues leading you up some flagstone
How
steps.
did he kill this woman?
Apparently with a blade, with a dagger, turned it on her.
He
His
turned
dagger or her dagger?
Butter knife.
Sorry, multiple people speaking at once. I didn't really hear that.
Sorry.
Was
What
it
the question?
his dagger or her dagger?
We believe it was her dagger. Although the Lord has one himself, I haven't asked personally.
Is it a very small dagger?
Apparently so, yeah.
Ah.
Mira's,
this
On you,
point-
Rabble. Let's get on with the job.
Mira's getting bored of the conversation and is looking at the very beautiful woman in front of her. You're pretty.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Not you, Barry.
Oh dear.
And now she goes, oh, well, we're all
Death just keeps
useful in our
following
own
up
way,
into
right?
the bedroom.
One at a time, please, guys. But,
Yeah, I didn't hear that.
but sorry, Orphea, you were saying.
Oh, his response, she goes, oh, we're all beautiful in our own way, right? And looks kind of dreamily off into the distance.
All right,
She
so
looks at Manu and she goes, yeah, maybe, kind of.
I'm bloody stunning.
I agree.
at this point, you guys arrive on the first floor in the west wing and are brought out to a reinforced wooden door with a short and nervy-looking guard standing outside. You can almost hear his armor rattling as you approach. Hello.
Oh dear.
The watch captain introduced him. This is Ken. He was on guard that night.
Ken?
He's here to answer your questions, should you have any. Meanwhile, I have other business to attend to. Don't cause any trouble, or we should be meeting you very, very soon. All right. And he starts.
See
leaving.
you by the back passage, Derek.
And you see him like stop and he like tenses up and then just shrugs it off and leaves. Hi. Yeah.
Right then.
I'm Ken.
Ken,
Hi.
is it?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm Manu. You're gonna tell us everything you know, aren't you?
Yeah. Are you trying to intimidate him?
Definitely.
You can make an intimidation check, sir. First roll of today.
Let's roll.
Yay! Just rolled. Oh, that's not good. 4. 8.
8. He still looks a little bit shaken by your imposing form.
Well, friendly, like, you know, hand on the shoulder.
What do you want to know? I mean, I can show you in the room.
Yeah, let's do that.
How does the door look on the way in? Is it normal? There's no...
Yeah, it doesn't look like any signs of damage. It looks completely intact and, yeah, all in working order. He pulls out a large bronze key, stuffs it into the lock, and clicks, opens the door, swings open, and you can see inside the bedchamber. So the room itself is lavishly decorated, and it seems to have been tidied since the assassination attempt. It's apparent
Bed's
that
been made, that kind of thing.
yeah, it's apparent that the Lord still uses this room to sleep in. There's a huge rug
When
covering
was the assassination attempt? Yesterday.
3 days ago. 3 days ago, so hence why it's been cleaned up a little bit. A huge rug covers most of the wooden floor. A large 4-poster bed juts out of the middle of the far wall, flanked by 2 rich, dark wooden bedside tables and a desk to one side with a reinforced wooden chest under it. On one side, there is a large stained glass window with a table placed over it. On the opposite sides to the window stands a large bookcase. So, what would you like to do, folks?
I'd like to question Ken the guard for a start.
Of course. Yeah, go for it.
Soldier. So, are you on guard before the assassination, or is this since the assassin arrived in this room?
Well, I was on duty the night the attempt happened, sir.
Outside the door of this very chamber?
Yeah, since the first attempt, we've always had a guard stationed outside the door, yeah.
What did you hear when the assassination attempt happened?
I didn't hear much until the window smashed, of course, and then there was a struggle, and I desperately tried to open the door, and because it's locked, he locked it from the inside as well, you see, and I then opened it, and then found the elf dead.
How long between you entering the room and after the window smashed?
Maybe a minute.
Ah. Okay, good work, soldier. Thank you.
You can make an insight check, Evan.
17 on the die.
That's good.
16.
Ah,
Not
16.
very insightful.
Yeah, even though you're not the wisest individual, it's apparent that Ken's looking pretty shifty here. You're not you're certain he's not being entirely honest with you.
I'm going to take him to one side and out of earshot, as I say.
Okay.
We all react differently under stress, young lad. Are you sure it was only a minute before you got into the room, or did something else happen? With his arm around consolingly.
Make a persuasion check.
Ooh, 18 on the die, so that is
Nice.
23.
23. Kind of looks into your eyes and feels fairly reassured with your presence and goes, look, well, you see, on the night in question, there was a generous amount of food left out on the banqueting hall, and I may have been a bit too greedy, and well, I got a bit of the indigestion, and so I had to leave my post for about 10 minutes or so as I passed. So and I heard I heard the smash during that time, and well, rushed over as quickly as I could, but so there may have been a bit more time than a minute. Yeah.
Evan looks around, check no one's listening. Goes, it happens to everyone, young soldier. I'll keep this between us, but thank you for your honesty. And then
no problem.
Goes back to join the others.
Okay, so what are the rest of you doing?
I would like to take. Oh, sorry.
You go and you go first.
I'd like to take a look at the stained glass.
To look at the window, of course.
Yes.
Okie dokie. So, there is actually, I don't think I mentioned, but there's a table kind of obscuring the window, but you can immediately see that there are shards of glass in the windowsill and a few sort of remnants on the ground as well, though they've been swept to the edge of the, to the skirting. There's still some remains there.
On the ground of the room or on the ground outside?
On the grounds, on the grounds of the room, like next to the at the ground next to the window. There's a few shards of glass left, like very fine pieces.
Has the window been replaced?
No, it hasn't. You can move the table out of the way of the window because they basically just put it up kind of to block up the window, but you can take it out.
Oh, I see.
She looks at the giant table or even a regular size table blocking the window and goes, This isn't really my forte. Can somebody, like, move it for me?
Manor will do it.
Alright.
Where do you want it?
Anywhere but here.
I'll put it on the bed.
As you do so, Manu, you do note that the so this four-poster bed has like these kind of mesh curtains, and they've been, although they're tied back, you can see there's rips in them as well. It seems to, remnants of a scuffle.
I'll lean it up against the wall if there's a clear space.
Cool. Yeah, no problem. You can do that. All right. So now that it's cleared, Orphea, you could feel free to make an investigation check.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll give her guidance on that.
Aha! There you go.
Yeah.
Cleric
How does that
guidance.
work? What do I do?
So you roll a d20, but you can also roll a d4 and add that to the check.
Okay. Let me get my skills and see if I'm any good at this.
Reminds of us stealing.
Oh, bad. 10 total, even with the guidance.
Oh no.
Stares blankly at the window, like.
I mean, as far as you can tell, it was a lattice window and it's been smashed. Just looking out of the window, you can see that it's obvious even from your untrained eyes that there's no easy way to assail up to the window. You know, you're up on the first floor, and as you kind of peek through, you can see that there's like the ground below is maybe 20 feet down. There's a shrubbery right at the bottom of the sort of directly below you, but there's no obvious place to sort of throw a grappling hook up or to get to the window aside from scaling the stone walls themselves with a grappling hook attached to there's quite a small roof overhang. That would be
it's a difficult climb, is it?
Yeah, it looks like it'd be very difficult to get up to that window without help.
Could I do it?
Yeah, you can make an investigation check if you'd like.
No. Could I make that climb? Could Barton or I make that climb?
Okay, make an investigation check yourself. See if you can ascertain.
And again, I'll give him guidance.
Okay. What does that do?
Gives you a d4 on top.
Okay, thank you. Ooh, 10. 11. What's that, investigation?
Yeah.
It's a
yes.
mysterious window.
It is resisting our best attempts.
It's like so mysterious.
Next me.
11 in total.
Yeah.
Looking at it, I mean, yes, even for somebody with your background, scaling this window would not be an easy feat.
We should probably go and check the shrubbery when we get downstairs.
I agree.
Find any clues in it.
So Nira is completely ignoring all of this. She's kind of wandering around the room, muttering to herself.
Mhm.
And she stands still in front of the bookcase and she says, Auntie wants me to look in here. Everyone else can carry on.
Oh, sorry, what did you say? Something wants to look in here?
Something creepy.
Ah.
Auntie wants me to look in here.
Sure. Can you roll... yes, Nira, can you roll a perception check, please?
Yeah. Ooh, this one. That's not bad. 16. The
16?
nice one.
So 15. Perfect.
Oh,
Okay.
17. Minus
Oh, I
one.
see. 16. Okay, great. I'll just... Yeah. Okay, so as you're just, like, contemplating Ante, looking at the bookcase, one thing you notice straight away is that so most of the books are leaning like to one side, you know, in a way that books do to stay upright. But one is conspicuously upright, it's like dead straight upright. It's quite a large volume, but it's the only one that's standing sort of, you know, a perfect right angle on the shelf.
I reach for it and take it out.
So as you go to take it out, you find it doesn't come out itself. It just and clicks. And then suddenly the entire bookcase just swivels open and reveals an unlit spiral stone staircase.
Secret door, reveal yourself.
Immediately he's like, that doesn't look good. I'd better go fetch the Lord, and just turns to leave.
Can I touch him like around the shoulder before he moves?
You can touch him on the shoulder, sure, yeah.
Yes, and
Yeah, I really don't think you should be going anywhere. Did you know about it?
Make a persuasion check.
So you tell me. Oh,
Can I help with persuasion, since I
Yeah,
can
okay.
convert to bond, so I have to help
Sure,
with
yeah, so that will give you advantage,
Persuasion.
Orphea.
cool. Good, that was bad. That was worse. Okay. I haven't look at it's so bad. 12, even with a +5.
He kind of stops for a second, looking at your beguiling form, and sure, miss. I didn't know about the bookcase, but its secret passageways and stuff is very much beyond my pay grade. So,
Well, how about, young man, if you just stand outside and deny it and say that you haven't seen anything at all, and we'll look into this, and it's not a problem.
Did you say secret passageways, plural?
Yeah, that's secret passageways are none of my business. I don't. It's a turn of phrase. Sorry, Barton. I think you come through quite quietly. I kind of missed what you were saying there.
Bear me 1 second. Is that any better?
Yeah.
A little bit, yeah.
Slightly solidical.
Sorry. So, you want me
just
to
have
wait outside?
one more-
Okay.
One more question.
Yeah.
Did you see him enter here alone?
Yeah. I mean, he always enters here alone. To be fair, he spends most of his evenings here in his room.
So he entered before you left, by himself. And then
Yeah,
when
yeah.
you came back, you found him in a corpse.
Yeah, the broken window. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
I guess I'll just wait outside then. And he just kind of closes the door and out of sight.
Perfect.
I'm-
Auntie showed me.
I'm hearing myself twice. I think. I think I'm getting some echo from one of you guys.
Moving sideways.
Yeah.
Weird. Anyway, no worries.
So doesn't tell everyone.
Okay, so Ken has left the room and closed the door. What are you doing?
Nira, what do you think?
Auntie pointed me towards this, so I say we.
Still got Auntie shit?
It's always a good idea.
Manu, because of your passive perception, before leaving the room, you note the other effects and potential plunder in this bed chamber. You recognise the bedside tables probably have some stuff of value in. There's a desk with several notes on top of it, which doesn't really take your interest, but underneath it is a chest. It looks like a reinforced iron chest, which immediately you just think treasure. So I'll leave that with you. I should have to do anything with that. The rest of you, if you're going to head down the stairs. Yeah.
Before that heads. Sorry.
How dark is it?
How dark is it? It's unlit. So the room you're in is lit, but the passageway, there's no natural light in there. It's very dingy.
I will cast light on a torch, so I don't have to light it, but it's also I can hide it back in my rucksack, so it's not obviously lit if we need to leave the room. Denali found the passage, so I have a torch but lit with a magic light, not a smoking, smelling light.
Okay. Cool.
Nice.
And sorry, Orphea, you saying something?
I was just going to say, is there anything else we should look at, like at the scene of the crime before we move on? I mean, we might not be welcome back if this is something he didn't want us to find, right?
I mean, who says what?
If you find where this passage leads, we might be able to get back whether they want us here or not.
I think he dislikes us already, and if we find his killer, everything will be forgiven.
Ah.
Yeah, have we found where the body was found? Like, is it blood in here? Is there any?
They said it was found on the bed, right? Maybe you should inspect the bed there.
Inspect the body
The bed.
and the body.
Yeah, the
The
body
body's
is
not here.
elsewhere.
We need to find the body.
It would be a little bit weird if he'd been sleeping in a bed with a corpse for 3 days.
He's a man.
You were told the body was being kept in the
Not everyone's
temple.
like you, Rurik.
Okay, so you don't have to all go together. I mean, if any of you wanted to inspect the room, you're more than welcome to.
I'm going down the stairs.
Okay.
So am I.
Yeah,
I'm going down the stairs as well.
So Orphea and Dath, if you're going to stay up there, can you roll investigation checks, please?
Sure. I'll use guidance. So,
On yourself. That's you.
yeah, okay. It's the cantrip, right? So I can use it on you if you like. So.
Oh yes, please. That would be good.
Yeah.
I mean, considering how I'm rolling today. Oh, better. Okay. Okay.
Nice. Oh, can I roll the natural 20?
Yeah!
Okay. All right. So Dath kind of dwarfs Orphea in the search. First thing you find as your alien-like mind, you perceive things slightly differently to others, and you notice things that others miss. And first of all, you find a couple of hempen fibres on the rug close to the door. The chest under the desk doesn't appear to be locked. And the corner of the rug nearest the bookcase is folded over itself, but that's now been apparent that that's because there was a secret door there. So the two things that are interesting: the chest that's open, and the hempen fibres that you found on the rug. Probably you find from rope.
Okay.
Where is the rug?
The rug is a huge rug covering most of the floor in this room.
So whereabouts on fibres?
Fibres are by front door.
By the door. Okay.
Okay. See.
And Orphea, you're made aware of these things as Dath looks into it.
And I guess so. Investigate chests, sorry, a bit closer.
Chest. Yep, you can open the chest.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So inside it, there's a leather pouch containing 50 gold pieces, 3 potions of healing, and in scrawny handwriting on parchment, seems to be some kind of inventory. It says 6 shields, 8 long swords, 100 bolts, 2 sets half plate.
Interesting.
Whilst he's looking at the chest, can I roll the rug up that's on the floor? Which one could I grab?
You'll be able to roll it
Or
up
is it
entirely because it's like it covers under the bed, under the units, but you can certainly roll up some of it from like the front door and have a look underneath if you'd like.
Yeah, I just want to have a gander, make sure it's not covering anything suspicious.
Just as you roll it up, and all you see is kind of wood panelled flooring. That's all you see, wooden floorboards. You do, however, hear rush of steps coming from outside, and Chink's armour. Meanwhile, for the rest of you heading downstairs, see small, narrow. At the bottom of the stairs, there's a small room. It appears, you can tell by its sort of cylindrical shape, that you're inside the west tower of Amphail Manor. There are small, narrow windows in this room, covered by curtains. They're kind of like almost like arrow slits in their design. But from the lights from Evan's spell, you can see clearly into this room, and it seems to be some kind of office. There's an old mahogany desk that has 3 crisp letters sitting on it, whilst one large reinforced iron chest lies to one side, with a flagstone floor covered by a large rug, similar to upstairs.
I'm going to look at that large iron-bound chest.
I completely ignore the chest. I go for the papers.
Great, let's go with the chest first then. So, okay, so you go up to the chest. Is it locked? Good question, because I should know this. I wrote it. The chest is locked, and it's maybe 5 feet wide. It's like a big old chest, and it's going to be difficult to break.
How about if I smash it with a great axe?
You can certainly try.
I'm going to hit it with my great axe right on the neck.
Buff starts to put his beetles out there, but it's not.
Brilliant. Okay, make an attack roll, please, Rurik.
This is fun to watch.
21.
21. That hits. Roll some damage. You manage to break through the reinforced iron with your mighty swing.
That will be 10 damage.
10 damage. Managed to perfectly dent it. It's still together, the chest. You could try and prise apart the gap that you put into the lid, but it's holding currently.
Before he gets a chance to do that, Evan intervenes and says, "What are you doing? We're trying to solve a mystery, not to break in other people's belongings."
Shut up, Lanky. Push him away and carry on prizing it.
So as you keep struggling with it, you do notice, you can see the glint of gold inside it, and this just kind of feeds your tempo as you try and break open this chest. Meanwhile, as this commotion is going on nearer, you have a look at these letters. Okay, so it seems to be just some mundane correspondence between Lord Ophit and the Lord's Alliance. Can you make an Arcana check for me, please?
Yes, I trained in that. That's good. Plus, that's not that good. 16.
16. Just something about when you start examining, when you pick up as you read it. So, almost as you pick it up, the letter, it almost like there's a glitch, and the writing, like, then sort of struggles to catch up with the page, and something doesn't look right about this. You look like you think you may be looking at some kind of illusion.
look at it and not say anything for now.
Get all 3 letters?
Yeah.
Cool, yeah, no problem. Alright. So, just as you're ripping open this chest, you can see there are several sacks of gold in there, Rurik. Upstairs, Death and Orphea, the door flies open and a host of guards charge into the room. They run past the 2 of you, heading straight for the open stairwell. The rest of you downstairs can now hear this clattering of footsteps as these guards are descending the stairs.
Time for fight! Barton is immediately going to hide.
Okay, you make a subject.
Rurik, we do not want to start a commotion just yet.
Evan steps away from the chest to make sure it's clear he's nothing to do with this.
It's a dirty 20 on self.
The dirty 20. Nice. Okay, so there's not many places to hide in this room, but given your size, you decide you fit quite easily underneath the desk, which, because it's quite sort of oversized, you can sort of maneuver yourself under there and be less detectable than the rest, especially given all of these distracting pool of large weapons in front of you. Alright. Okay, so interesting. So the guards enter downstairs. They start filling this space. You can see, at a guess, you'd say there's nearly a dozen guards. Like, half a garrison.
I'm gonna get ready for a fight. I'm gonna hold back at the moment.
Okay.
I'll look at them and I'll just stand there confidently and say, "That fix your problem?"
You are trespassing and it appears looting Lord Ophis Manor. I'm afraid you're going to have to come with us.
We are investigating as we were taught to do.
And then you hear from the back, investigating, huh? And Washington Derrick pushes his way through the rest of the guards. So we call investigating, breaking into Lord Ophis' private property. Oh, and I can see that there's a lot of gold there. Plan to pocket it, will you?
I'm gonna punch you straight in the mouth.
Hang on, Rurik, hang on. We didn't break into anything. We were told to investigate. We investigated. We found a secret passage. It's not very well hidden. It's not our fault.
So you're saying that you found this chest with an axe wound in it?
Yes, indeed.
Yes.
Right, perception check, please.
Which I'm very good at. Natural 20.
Yeah!
Sorry, it is a disadvantage.
Oh,
shit! Sorry, because there's an axe wound there.
13 plus 5, 18.
18, okay.
Oh, very good.
It just kind of looks from one to the other.
Yeah.
I'll just give him some green.
Well, as I said, no funny business
Who
here.
would you think we are? You know that we were here, right? How stupid do you think we are? We literally run under your nose.
That's a very good point. I'm also stupid enough to let you continue in this room. So, if you don't mind, folks, that's enough from the man here. I'm going to have to ask you all to leave.
I've got to say one thing, Derek. You're pretty stupid if you can't even investigate something that your boss has called in other people to look for. Ah!
I have my orders, young dwarf.
Young! Ah!
All right then.
Derek.
So I'm going to have to ask all of you. I'm going to have to ask all of you to leave. But as for you, Master Dwarf, I'm afraid you're going to have to come with us.
I'm not going any silly.
Oh, that's a shame. But arrest him.
Right, I'm going to fight.
Okie doke.
I tried stopping him, but you pushed him too far.
And I'm going to rage.
Well, you can do so. You can do so on your turn. So first thing is electoral initiative.
Yes.
18.
So the room's gone. 12 for Evan.
19.
19, 18, 12 for Evan. I got 15. The rest of you in the room, you get involved in fighting, or are you gonna sort of hang back?
If Rurik fights, I fight.
After roll 21.
21. Okay.
I'm not using my weapon though, I'll just fists.
Manu, you're in the room. Do you want to roll some initiative?
It looks like he's muted on Discord.
Oh, you're muted. I can't hear you.
I do beg your pardon. I've been saying some really interesting stuff about.
Oh, sorry.
I'm only theoreting. I'm not running into the secret room.
Oh, yeah.
Still investigating it.
Oh, you're still upstairs. Okay, in which case, never mind. You don't need to. You're all good. You're getting arrested. You'll be fine.
How far away is it? Can we hear any of this?
Well, you can hear the motion. Yeah, it's echoing through the spiral stairs.
Down there,
Alpha running away.
And we are back. So apologies for the problems we've been having today, folks. It's going to be a bit choppy on the video, but hopefully the audio's all clear, and hopefully we don't end up crashing again. So, okay, as we were then, combat time, and it was over to Rurik, and you were describing elaborately what you wanted to do before everything went wrong.
You're muted again.
Oh, Rich, you're muted. Oh, no. Good start.
How far am I away from Derek?
Derek is... you've got a line of guards in front of... between you and Derek.
Right, well, whichever guard's in front of me, I'm going to go up to him, put my hands on his shoulders, jump up, and just nut him straight on the nose.
All right.
While I'm raging.
Sure. So that's an unarmed strike. So yeah, make an attack roll, please.
Yeah, I'm not going to use weapons because obviously I don't know.
Oh no, yeah,
not really.
Well, of course.
So I've got +5 to that. Oh, can't see anything. 18.
18 is going to hit. Yeah, roll some damage.
So that's that will be 4 + 2, 7 damage.
I was going to say roll some damage. No, that's not right. 6 damage.
6 damage. Right between the eyes.
And it's like reels backwards, looking a bit starry-eyed at that point. All right. Okay, so that's your turn. Next is the guards. So the one that's just nutted you.
No, I've nutted him.
Sorry, that you've just nutted. Apologies. And the guard next to him, who's just been fogged essentially by Nera. Both are going to try and clap you in irons. So they're going to make a grapple check against you. So can you roll athletics or acrobatics to try and escape the grapple? Contested by the two of them.
Athletics, I've got +5.
All right.
Oh.
What'd you roll?
20.
20 in total. Okay, I'm just going to bring over the 2 19s on the dice.
You're a swine, sir.
So yeah, total for them is going to be over 20. That beats you. So between the two of them, one grabs onto your arms while the other slaps some manacles on you. So you're
kneecaps off, you chicken monkey.
so you can still run around, but your hands are currently bound.
I've got my head.
You've got your head. That's true. You can still use your unarmed strikes, but other than that, you're looking a little bit in the wars at this point.
I'm armless.
Exactly, you're armless. Yeah, quite. So that's two of them as they go round for you.
Hello.
We've then got Captain Derek. He's going to step forward and kind of he's just going to hold his hand up and say, "Stop! As I said, the dwarf is coming with us. The rest of you are free to leave. But any more acts of aggression towards my forces, and we will be forced to take you into custody as well. All right?" And the rest of the guards are all kind of standing there ready, but they're not going to attack. Next up is Evan. What did you want to do?
Evan turns to the guard nearest to him and says, I tried to stop them. We were just looking for clues, but some people's eyes, some people can't help themselves. I'm sorry about this. I hope that we can all sort this out sensibly. And he'll move to go upstairs and out of the secret room, if he's allowed by the guards.
And they look to Derek, who hesitates for a moment and then just nods, says, "Finally, someone with a sense of decency." As I said, no more trouble here. I'm going to ask you all now to leave this area, and you may continue in your investigation outside of the manor house. All right? And the guards just part and let you pass, Evan.
Okay, I will go back upstairs and join the others in the bedchamber for now.
So when you go back up the stairs, you find that the bookcase, the door has been closed by Manu while you've been down there. But there is it's quite obvious how to open it.
Sorry, there's all.
What's the secret password?
Is that the orc on the other side of this bookcase? I thought I heard that guttural voice.
No, that's not it.
Let me out, you idiot! Everyone doesn't like orcs very much. Even half orcs are a bit of a push.
I'm not letting you through.
You didn't say that bit out loud. He doesn't know that. That's internal monologue.
Past prejudice paladin.
Okay, so Rurik, you are sort of frog marched out of there, which is quite comical because they literally have to lift you off the ground because of the height difference. But the rest of you are free to join up with Orthia and Dath and Manu upstairs before being ushered out of the manor house. So just to recap, because I know there's been a bit of a gap, so you're given 2 points of interest to explore in your investigation. First was the bedroom, which you've done. The second was to examine the corpse of the assassin at the Temple of Shontir on the northern side of town. You've also, Nira has found some letters which have some sort of illusion magic over them, but she hasn't shared this information with anyone else. And
we found an inventory, didn't we?
You found an inventory. Very important, you found an inventory for weapons and armor, yes.
Can I swipe the potions of healing?
You can, provided that while that all happened, yeah. You can,
exactly.
Unless Dath took them, because I think he had first dibs as he looked.
Yeah.
No, you certainly could.
Dath definitely would have not taken them.
Cool, you can swipe them, sure.
They might come in handy.
So you currently have 3 potions of healing.
DM, before we leave, who had the key to the door? Which guard was it?
That was Ken.
Ken.
Okay.
Ken.
On the way out, Barton's going to pretend to bump into him and attempt to steal the key off him if he can.
Sneaky.
Make a sleight of hand check, please.
Sweet.
Certainly. Bear me 1 second.
Can I try and get Ken's attention while this is happening?
Sure, you can give him advantage on the check by distracting him, but only you need to pass a performance check first. So performance check for Manu. I think for the purposes of this, it'll be a performance check because you're trying to distract rather than trying to scare him into giving his possessions up.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, I've got the character sheet, not mine up. Oops. What is it? Let's go. 11.
11. Okay. He's he sort of looks over at you questioningly, quizzically. So yeah, you can have advantage on the check button.
Cool. That was a natural 19, so 24.
Ooh.
You swipe the key.
Nice.
Nice.
Sorry, and I'll just walk out.
Oh, it's all right. Bye. Sorry about that. He just trails off as you all leave. So Rurik is being led towards the village hall, and Rich has kind of left the room. So we'll focus on the rest of you as he's being taken away.
Do you think he's had a strop and he's just run off? Like,
He just rejoined, I think.
Actually
he's
hand
back.
himself
There you
in.
go. So, as for the rest of you, what did you want to do?
Are we being escorted out by the rest of the guards?
Yeah, so you've just been taken outside of the manor.
So I turn to... Oh, carry on.
Nira is not leaving without Brick.
Okay, so you can follow the guards as they take him to the village hall if you would desire.
Yes.
Yeah?
Evans. Sorry, you were going to say something. Evan says to the rest of the party, I'd like to check under the window to see if there are any signs about how this assassin got in.
That's a good
anyone
idea.
coming with me?
Let's go and check around in the shrubbery under the window.
Because I think the guards will let us outside the building, even if we're exiled from inside here, due to our compatriots' foolish mistakes.
It sounds like the workmen that were working on the extension are gone as well, so it should be a bit quieter.
I'm gonna give Evan inspiration for thinking of that, and also just for diffusing a potentially volatile situation earlier. So yeah, you know from looking down the window, the shrubbery is essentially skirting the outside of the manor, and it's overlooks the long road, the main road in the village. So you can quite easily just go and examine that area. You shouldn't be disturbed.
Okay.
Could we check for tracks around underneath the window and that kind of thing?
By all means, yes. Make a survival check. Sure, yeah. See what you can find.
Okay.
Daff will give him guidance as well.
Okay.
Ooh, that's an extra D4, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you, Darth. Oh, that's much better. That is a 21 altogether.
21. Great. Okay, so you search in the shrubbery. You don't find any sort of climbing materials, anything that you would be hoping to find to explain how they got up there. Instead, all you find is it looks like a gold ornament of some variety. It looks like the sort of thing that would have belonged in a lavishly decorated bedroom such as Lord Ophid's bedroom. But why it's out here, that's escapes you
something
this
from
time.
his bedroom is outside the window on the floor.
Yeah.
Nice.
Does it look like it could have smashed? Is it heavy enough to smash the window?
Yeah, it's like a golden bust. Like it's heavy enough. Yeah.
So he
look valuable.
Smashed it from the inside.
Yeah,
through the secret entrance, likely.
From
Can Evan see any glass out here in the shrubbery?
Maybe the Lord threw it out the window to
Faker.
come up with this ruse that he'd been attacked.
Yeah, so if you look for glass outside, obviously that's a sign which way the window was smashed from.
But we did see glass on the inside as well.
Yeah, there was some.
Mentioned.
But that
by the window.
Well, we can check out here as well and see
how
much
definitely.
there is.
Yeah, no.
Well, I'm a bit of an expert in breaking in, and quite often you will find that you get a residual backwash of broken glass on the inside.
Is anyone inspecting the bush then for some glass?
You do.
Sorry, go on.
I'll say because you Manu already did the survival check that yes, he also found some fragments of glass around the shrubbery as well, along with this bust, this little golden ornament. Looks like dedicated to one of the gods. You're not sure which, but it's looks. You reckon it'd be worth a good 20 gold pieces for that?
Pocket it, Manu.
Yeah.
That's what. Should we bring this back to him? It looks like he lost it.
Yeah. No problem. Yeah.
Yeah, he was missing it so much that he threw it out the window.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. I think he's trying to hide something. This little pipsqueak. What's his name?
Ophid.
Well, if he's an upstanding member of the Lord's Alliance and he's lying about some sort of assassination attempt, I think we should probably question him about that, right?
Let's gather more evidence first, though, and also we need to get the little dwarf out of trouble, don't we?
Well, did he ask for it?
What? Why was he arrested? What happened?
Yeah, what happened?
It was very unjust.
The common sense prejudice. I get it all the time.
Do they have to make a deception check to lie to us?
No.
Or
I think
roll
between
insight to see if they're lying.
I think between you guys, player to player stuff, I think you can do it more instinctually than that. That's fine. But while you guys are gathering, finding this evidence, so Rurik, you are being frog marched back to the village hall, and Nira, you're following.
I am walking next to them. I'm not following.
Oh, okay. You are keeping in line with them. Interesting. You then have to kind of tuck. You then have to tuck behind them as the doorway is to the village hall is not large enough to accommodate you all walking four abreast. So
I'm gonna try and dot in front of them and go first.
Okay. All right. Make a for this, please just make a general dexterity check.
Yeah.
Or acrobatics if you're trained.
7.
You try and you just kind of face plant the doorway, and they just kind of go through.
Stubbed your toe on the stair.
He's immediately whisked through past the main reception area in this building, and through to a back room, down some stairs. They don't stop you following. You can still continue down.
I will.
So you can see that there's a small office with several chests there. This is. And you see one scrawny-looking individual in guard's uniform with a large ring of keys on his hip, and you gather this is the jailer. Through the door, I
say to Nira, I go, "Did my other alter ego come forward again?"
He did.
Oh no!
It's okay. Take care of it.
Oh no, he's always getting me in trouble.
And they,
if you keep him under control now, I'll get you out of trouble, okay?
I need beer to keep him under control.
If we can get you out of here, we can go get some.
Okay. Sounds good.
So, Rurik, you are immediately tossed into one of the cells. The others are currently empty.
That office.
Sorry?
No
one to the... I marched to the office where the scrawny man was.
Yeah, sure. You can turn back there, and the jailer's there. Hello.
Hello. Okay.
We broke her.
Hello.
Okay. Character.
What can I do for you?
I need you to sort something out for me.
Oh, what sort of thing do you need sorted out?
You look like someone who can sort out injustices done to you.
Yeah.
Do you see the dwarf that they just put in jail there?
Yeah.
He's not supposed to be in jail. They did him wrong.
Oh, really?
Can you help me get him out?
Well, probably can do something for the right price.
Oh, I like the voice.
Me too.
Thank you.
And what price did you have him?
What are you offering?
She steps a bit closer, kind of ignoring the stench that undoubtedly is coming off the screen.
Very much BO, yeah.
Ignores it completely and just kind of leans forward over the desk. Well, sure, we can think of something.
And as he's kind of like chuckling away, going a little bit red around the gills, you then hear, "What's all this then?" As
Derek
comes in from locking away.
God damn it, Derek.
From locking away Rurik, and immediately the jailer kind of steps up and goes, "Oh, I don't know what she was saying. She was just talking to me, is all." Oh,
just
it's enough out of you.
Derek.
If you're looking to secure the release of your friend there, yeah, there is an arrangement we can come to. You can, of course, post his bail. That's fine. It was more to teach him a lesson and set an example to your friends, your colleagues, whatever you call them.
Could you explain something to me, Derek?
Go on.
What? Why exactly did you arrest him? What did he do?
Well, put it this way, love. There's one person in your party toting a great axe, and there was a cleave inside a wooden chest that I know for a fact belongs to the lord of this village, matching the size of the weapon that your friend was holding.
I thought we'd already agreed we'd found it that way.
Don't take me for an idiot. I didn't come watch captain from not being able to see stuff from my own eyes.
One way was bail. What was the other?
It'll be released in good time, maybe tomorrow if he behaves well.
I'll have that. I need him to solve this mystery you got on your hands.
Right then. Guess it's going to have to be bail then, isn't it?
How much is that bail?
This sort, 20 gold pieces.
Come on, that's just extortion.
Those are the rules.
Who made those rules?
Do you want to make a persuasion check?
Yes. 17.
17. Okay, so what was your reasoning being for ussing the price down?
That we were just on the cusp of figuring out this connection to the warden, and he's interrupted our investigation.
Rurik is fundamental to the solving of the mystery.
Absolutely is. Clearly I'm the brains of the party, but what can a brains do without some brawn? Protects her.
He is your totem spirit that you need to channel.
Yes. Simply can't focus without him.
Fine. If you let him leave, if you get out of here, quick sharp, 10 gold pieces, fine.
I'll keep him in line. 10 gold pieces it is.
See to it that you do. And as I said, any more funny business in town, and I will exact the same sort of punishment again, alright?
Alright.
Don't want any trouble in my village.
Will not give you anything.
And the jailer looks suitably disappointed. Returns to his duties.
I'll look back at him and wink. Oh God.
Wow.
And then Derek just stares and just like, what have I got to work with, honestly? Just take him and get out. Right, and then you just follow. The jailer goes with you and unlocks the cell. Rurik, his manacles are taken off. You're a free man, ready to go.
Lovely. I'll wait till Derek leaves. I'll wait till Derek leaves and then turn back to the jailer.
All right. Derek isn't going to leave until you guys leave. He's just waiting there.
That's
all right, I'll come back later. It's fine. Just look at him, blow him a kiss, and leave. Oops.
Jailer goes.
Oh, the kiss was to Derek.
Oh. Yeah. Oh, well,
Oh.
he's behind Derek waving, and Derek's just like.
Oh God.
Very surly.
Let's go, Rurik. We have a job to do.
Thank you, my dear, and I'll give you 10 gold pieces.
Thank you. We'll steal those back later. It's fine.
All right. So as for the rest of you, then, so you two can catch up with the rest of the party, just as you're finishing up your investigation around the manor. So you found the glass and the bust, worth about 20 gold pieces, conveniently. What would you like to do now?
If we started seeing some suspicious stuff around here, it might be worth finding out a little bit more about this first assassination attempt. There were 2, correct?
Hmm. Yeah.
So if we think the second one's maybe a ruse, then perhaps so was the first. I think you're on mute, Stephen.
What about the body? Isn't that we have a limited time with that?
That's in
I think that's going to be buried tomorrow. So should go. Yeah, I think that's probably a good idea to go and check that out.
What time of day is it, Jack?
So it's about midday. So you've got some daylight left. Quite a bit of daylight left.
Let's check out the body before it stinks of rot more.
Okie dokie. So you head across town across the village to the north to the Temple of Chontir. This is a sort of large domed building.
Is Chontir the god of the sea?
Chontir is the goddess of agriculture. This village is mostly a farming village, so it's quite appropriate, really. And in fact, this grand domed building overlooks one such farm, a Sword Shadow farm. You notice as you head inside, and those of you who are familiar with the temple, that it's frequented mostly by farmers and well-wishers, since Chontir is the goddess of agriculture. And inside, sort of sticking to this theme, the walls are displayed, aligned with displays of fruit, vegetables, grains, and all manner of produce. At one end is an altar with a golden grain wreath around a woven emblem of a blooming rose, the symbol of the goddess herself. As well as the farmers, there's also many elves conspicuously in the temple. One of which, a half-elf in priestly robes, long flowing white robes, Brother Peel, approaches you. Guys, hello. Are you the adventurers, I take it, given your colourful display you have before us?
No, we're priests. No, we're the adventurers.
Oh, what larks. You must forgive me, my I do not have the dwarvish sense of humour, I'm afraid, but I trust you're here on a much less jovial business. The body of the assassin, I suppose you want to see that, do you?
Would like to see that.
Okay, well, right away. Follow me, and he leads you just towards the back of the building and down some stone steps into the undercroft.
What's his name? Peel?
Brother Peel, yes.
Brother Peel?
Yes, my child.
Why is the body kept here? Why has the body been brought here?
Well, we were going to inter it tomorrow.
But why? Why couldn't they? Why did they bring it here? Why didn't they just chuck it in a ditch?
Oh, well, you see, this... first of all, obviously, they wanted the investigators to inspect it, but also this is the body of one of the... Not only the assassin, but apparently she was one of the traders in the village, an elf named Jiné. She's been quite popular here.
Oh. All the dead in the village are brought here for their last rites when they die, are they?
Yes. Sort of, funerals and such.
Darth, can I borrow your pen thing again? I need to make another note.
Would you like me to write it on you for you?
That would be very helpful, yeah.
So right. you say she was a trader. What did she trade?
She was a glassblower by trade.
Glassblower, you say?
Yes. Poor girl. What did she get herself mixed up in? And he looks, quite actually forlorn.
So she was good at blowing, you say?
Stop it.
Glass, yes. She was one of the most talented glass blowers I've ever seen.
So what happens if you're a glass blower and you suck?
I believe you won't be a glass blower very long.
Yeah. Thanks very much. You've answered my questions.
And as this conversation winds up, you then brought in the undercroft to a lying on a stone slab is a corpse of a young elven female with long brown Dutch braids and dressed in fur armor. And he issues towards her. You see that the slab that she's on at the top has a symbol of a skeletal hand holding a set of scales. Which those of you who are religion trained will recognise this as the sign for Kelemvor, god of the underworld.
The body is where is the elf that died, the alleged assassin, is wearing armor.
Yeah, fur armor. Yeah, just furs.
But she was a trader and popular in the village.
Yep. If you wish to carry out an examination, I believe that the most respect should be given to, appropriated towards her as possible. I would recommend that only one of you examine the body thoroughly.
Has she got any weapons?
No, I don't have any weapons on her here.
Was she found with any weapons?
I believe so, but I try not to get involved in that business.
Well, if she's an assassin, she'd need weapons, wouldn't she?
I would have assumed so, yes.
Maybe that's a question for Ken.
Well, he claimed that she had a dagger on her and he used it against her.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, he did.
So he's now got it.
Is she still wearing the pendant that was mentioned of the warders? Is that on her body?
You can't see at the moment. It may be under the armor, but you'd have to, search the body further. As Peel has said, only one of you will be allowed to do that.
All right, Daft writes on his hand. Who wants to do the investigation?
For this, I would recommend. I would recommend for this. Actually, it's more of a medicine check. So whoever's doing that, it's a medicine check rather than investigation.
Yeah, that should definitely not be.
I wouldn't feel comfortable doing it.
Right. Well, Daft can do it, but does anyone want to help?
I think you have to do it by yourself, don't you?
Yeah, because you can't go. You got to go on your own, mate.
Brother Peel has said has suggested it be one, but you could try and convince him that two should do it.
I think.
Well, I'll have a quick chat with him about the gods and their place in the world, and while I'm doing that, I'll move so my shoulders are preventing me from seeing what the rest of the party's doing.
Okay.
Nero will try and sneak past.
Okay, make a performance check, Manu.
Oh, that was nearly a 1. 9.
9. All right. He sort of politely nods along to you, but he's still keeping an eye on the corpse on the slab.
Right.
So
I'm
Jaff,
not interested.
Daff will then he'll begin his investigation. One thing he's paying special attention to is he's looking if she looks like she was tied at all because of the rope bits he found.
Yep, fair enough. Okay. Medicine check, please.
Okay, and he'll use guidances. Well,
slap a guidance on yourself. Yep.
Yeah.
You've got to spam the guidance.
You do. Oh, nice. So I rolled a 18 plus 3 and 3 for the guidance, so 24.
24. Okay, fantastic. So, first thing you notice, she has a stab wound on the sort of lower abdomen. It appears that it was by the sort of blackish veins and it looks like that wound was infected. Poison. Perhaps poison or a cursed blade is what comes to mind. But on further inspection, the telltale signs, there's a few white marks around her lips, like possibly froth. This indicates to you possibly it was a poison blade. And yes, you do pay special attention to her arm, her wrists, and you very faintly see rope burns, remains of rope burns there.
So it does look like she was tied. Or she struggled against the rope anyhow.
Yeah.
What do you know?
As part of your investigation, your examination, you also find, or the prognosis, if you want to say that, you do find there's a leather necklace around her neck with a metal pendant of a tree with 2 W's overlapping on the trunk.
WW.
Okay, does it actually look like a real symbol? Like, is this a religious symbol or is it?
Make a history check because you're interested in the wardens, given your background.
Okay, and he'll use his guidance again.
Okay.
Oh, nice. So you rolled a 15. He has 15 history plus 4. So 24 again.
Wow. Okay, so yes, you recognise this is a symbol of the Wardens. I think the Lord Ovid had mentioned this earlier. But in addition to that, this strikes you as odd. From what you understand of the Wardens, they were descended from a druidic culture. And so the use of metal is very uncommon, very rare. It seems uncharacteristic of the Wardens to have something made of metal.
Okay. Almost like planted, maybe. But maybe.
Possibly. That
Okay.
you have your suspicion is aroused through this.
Okay. Do I find? Is that all the details I find?
That's everything you find on the body. Yeah.
Okay.
That is like Farin's answer to Cadfael, isn't he? He's a super detective.
he
Yes.
is Endeavour Morse.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so after you take a step back, Brother Peel, my friend, turns to Death. I must say, for someone who conceals their appearance so, you appear to be quite adept at carrying out these rites and of the knowing the way around the medical side of a body. Are you perchance a follower of the Pantheon?
Yes. I mean, I follow knowledge and arcana are my main interests, and knowledge in all areas, and especially ones of medical as well.
Well, it seems to have served you well. I am. He turns to the rest of you. I am, of course, open to any questions you may have. I would like to help in any way that I can. I believe I owe this village and the late Ginny here that much, at least.
Oh, what was her name?
Ginny. So it's like Ginny, but with an E rather than a Y.
Gin.
Brother Peel. Brother Peel.
Yes, my child. How may I help?
I might be sure, but I'm not sure. Anyway, where can we find one called Luna?
Huh?
Luna?
The fierce warrior. Yes, I remember her. She's does stick out in a crowd. She has she usually frequents the well, I imagine as most people do, the road less travelled, the inn at the centre of the village. That's social hub, really. I wish it were here, but unfortunately, not everyone calls upon the gods quite so often as they call upon the ale.
Yeah, I've heard the road less travelled is rubbish.
Oh, really?
Yeah, don't go there. Go. The other inn's much better.
Oh no, I've quite the contrary. I've heard the other inn is, and then he kind of looks at you and goes, it's a fine establishment. I'm sure.
Yeah, it's got character.
Yes, quite. I don't obviously myself being a devout member of the faith. I wouldn't wish to partake, but he just kind of stumbles a bit over his words.
Yeah, you're missing out, pal. And I'll just walk out.
I give Brother Peel a gold piece for your collection, young brother.
This is most kind, sir. I will, of course, put this in the coffers. Go with the blessings of Chantier upon you, and he taps you on the shoulder and gives you guidance.
Chantier, you say?
Fun.
I thought we were in another temple, but never mind.
Goddess of agriculture. No, of course, the Undercroft has symbols for other gods. I mean, we recognise that there is a poly. There are multiple gods. I forget the word.
Pantheon.
Quite a pantheon.
I've Pantheon myself. Much prefer Metallica or Megadeth.
I thought a pantheon was a big cat, but there you go.
I was going to say it was a poly. The word for multiple gods. I've genuinely forgotten.
Polytheistic.
Yes, polytheism. It is a polytheistic culture. Thank you.
Speaking of which, Brother Peel, was Ginny ever known to worship at the Druid shrine at the other end of town?
Ginny, as far as I'm aware, no. She frequented here occasionally.
But this was where she came for her worship rather than anywhere else, is it?
I don't think she was particularly religious. More, she was almost saw her trade as a religion itself. But you know, people worship in many ways.
She loved to blow, didn't she?
Oh, she was a good blower.
One of the best, unfortunately. No more.
But she didn't stop.
She has blown her last.
And how long has she been in this town?
She's lived here all her life, as far as I'm aware. Ever since she was a child.
And Jack, did you say she was a half-elf?
No, Brother Peel's a half-elf. She is an elf, a wood elf.
All right, so she's lived here a long time then.
She's a young wood elf, but yes, she's lived here longer than I have, anyway.
100 years or so.
Did you share with us what you found on the body?
Well, not yet, because I haven't had time to yet. But just wondering, did she have any dealings with the Lord other than passing?
Not as far as I'm aware, no. To be honest, what I find most strange is that, well, I can't see how Ginny would have been the assassin 3 months ago. You know, and then to then come out and strike again doesn't make any sense. I mean, if you were an assassin and you failed in an assassination attempt, why would you still hang around in the village? It just doesn't seem to make sense.
Nah, the little prick's up to something, isn't he?
Did she have any friends or family in the village?
She had friends, yes. I know she was good friends with some of the traders in town. I believe actually, no, she lived in the inn, in the road less travelled. She had a room there.
Ah, so she might know Luna.
Quite possibly. I've mostly seen her hanging around with a gnome. Quite a talkative chap. You'd probably get on well with him, actually.
Sherlock. I probably wouldn't. There you go. A gnome, you say?
No, we say.
And
who is this gnome? What is his name or her name?
He's one of the traders in town. Todd, I think his name was.
Is he a laughing gnome?
He's a very jovial chap, yes.
So he's the laughing gnome. Huh.
I don't know if that's what he's known by. That's the first I've heard, but possibly.
And what is this known by?
Is this Nix Knackle? Is that who you're talking about?
Oh no,
no.
I beg your pardon. No, Nix Knackle. She is the proprietor of the trading post. No. Todd is he owns a trading stall. He's a hunter. Now he would be somebody who would attend to the shrine, I'm sure.
I've heard of this Todd. He's drunk in the other inn. Barton and I, we've seen him around. He's a forester type, isn't he? Chatty fella.
Yes, that's the
Can't
one.
hold his liquor for shit.
I will have to take your word on that. Well, if that's all, my friends, I will.
Just quickly, is the Lord is he a religious man? You seen him here often?
Not often. He seems much more interested in his studies. I know when I have seen him at the village hall, he's generally, if not working on projects for the village, he's generally reading. He's interested in the arcane arts. I know that much. In fact,
he's bound to be a bloody necromancer, isn't he? Little prick like that. He's got to be.
I mean, I hope not. I would never want to cast that kind of aspersion against a lord. No.
Is he a generous man towards the religious institutions? Does he pay good money to your coffers?
I mean, we don't have to pay taxes, which is obviously welcome, and he occasionally donates. Yes.
In public or in private? Does he like to make a show of his donations, or is he more of a quiet giver where the giving is its own reward?
I believe your instincts are right. He is a lot more of an open giver.
That's very important to know. Thank you very much.
It's a lovely church you got here, Brother Peel. Very lovely. Obviously, you're very well looked after by the community. I hope I hope you keep the donations in a very safe place.
I will endeavour to, of course.
You mentioned the previous attempt 3 months ago.
Yes.
What makes you? Well, one, did you know if the Lord required healing? Was he badly hurt? Do you know this the situation there? And what makes you, other than like bad battle tactics, what makes you so sure it wasn't the same person?
Only my own intuition, I'm afraid, and what I've heard is more hearsay. I was not present, but what I heard was that apparently one of the assassin was posing as one of the staff, and then seemed to muddle themselves in the attempt. I think they were caught before they could carry out the act, and then managed to escape. I'm afraid the details have been sketchy.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Mostly, I've heard conflicting opinions. Some say that it was a shapeshifter. Some say that it was in fact one of the wardens themselves, an elf. Others say that it's some kind of phantom, but alas, I do not know.
Sorry, Jack. Do I know the type of poison that was used? Was it arcane in knowledge, or was it just normal poison?
It seemed like genuine poison, not arcane poison. This was manufactured.
Okay, and I don't know the type, or the.
You don't know the type. However, because you can you make a history check for me, Death?
Wish I rolled like this normally. Natural 20.
Oh wow. You do know that there is a
never that lucky.
I know, this is crazy. So you do know, however, that there is a potion shop in the village called All Chemical, run by a strange tiefling called Salazar.
Right.
That would be a good place to bring any sort of potion to, really.
All right, so I'd ask the father if I can just take a sample of this. It looks suspicious. Do you mind?
And he nods. By all means, I trust your delicate hand.
Right. Perfect. Okay, you can have.
I wish you all sincerely good luck with the investigation. Let us hope that Tamora shines on you, and that Shantea brings bounteous fortune your way.
Cheers, mate.
Yeah, thanks very much.
Thank you, Brother Peel. We hope to bring peace to your town as soon as we can.
I wish for nothing more.
As Death has now a sample of the poison, Nera starts sniffing. It's interesting. Can I smell that?
Sure.
Given my background, can I make some sort of check on it? You decide which.
Sure. This will be a. Let's say this will be a medicine check. Actually, no. You've got poisoners. No. There's not training for poisoners kit, is there?
There isn't.
There isn't. Okay, never mind. So yeah, this will be medicine or nature if you have that trained. Either of those.
Yes, nature definitely much better. It's -1 on medicine, but 5 on nature. So I'll take that. 17.
17. Yep. So you want to know what kind of poison this was?
What kind of poison?
Can I help her, Jack? Because I've got +2 on nature.
No worries. I think she's got this. Okay, so the name of the poison escapes you, but you know that this would be this is a go-to poison for assassins. That it sort of causes internal bleeding, ruptures the kind of digestive tract. Just
common fare, not something rare, something unusual.
It's not particularly unusual, no. I mean, obviously poisons are pretty rare anyway. They're only dealt by the black market, really. This has the hallmarks of a trained assassin.
I'll hand the vial back to him and say, it smells nice.
Yikes.
Does it? That's interesting.
I like poison.
I just look at nearer and raise my eyebrow.
Brother Peel, similarly. Oh. All right. So you heading on out of the temple. Where would you like to go next?
We want to go to the boozer, don't we? What's it called?
The road less travelled.
That's the fella.
Or to check out her room.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or what about her shop?
Yeah.
From your position, you would go. You could go through the market to get to the inn. So you could kind of do it on the way if you like.
Do it that way then.
We could find that gnome as well in the market.
Todd.
Todd's, yes.
Todd.
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 So yeah.
All right. So as you make your way in towards the inn, you go through the market. So the market area, there's various trading stalls. But in addition to this, there are also a few shops. The first that you see from your direction, one on either side, there's finery and food, a kind of a very wistful kind of idyllic thatched cottage on one side with several sort of flower arrangements in the window. On the opposite side is all chemical. It's a one-story building with a small tower out the back with a very thin spire. On the front, there's a wooden carving hanging that depicts a fizzing vial. Past those, you've then got the main sort of thoroughfare of stalls. There are 4 stalls set up to go, along with one empty one, which you gather is probably what was Janae's stall. The other 4, there's an apothecary table. There's a large purple tent. And there's also a farming produce stall. And a hunting and game stall with pelts, traps, and other hunting gear hanging from it. You can see the gnome behind this particular stall, and you see hosting the apothecary table is a peculiar old man with a hat made out of a goat's skull and a wispy black-grey beard.
I did on the way here. I did let everyone know what Gath had found.
Only beyond these stalls is the large barn-like building, which has painted above it the Long Road Trading Post, which is the general store.
Well, that approaches the proprietor at the alchemical.
All right, so you can head inside the alchemical, no problem. So you enter down a couple of wooden steps. It's obvious that this building is more practical than comfortable. It's just lined with shelves stuffed with potions, ingredients, and other sort of alchemical paraphernalia, herbs, vials, all the rest of it. It feels quite cramped, even though on the outside it looked like quite a nice space. And you see sort of occasionally sort of mixing together potions is this purple tiefling with long horns that kind of curve around from his head to his chin. He's working at a fevered pace along this and just kind of occasionally sipping this particular potion. And as you walk in, he takes one sip and then suddenly, poof, feathers just sprout from his chin, forming a beard. And he says,
I don't think this is quite right yet.
Zero chuckles.
My friend, welcome to Alchemical. How may I be of service today?
Zero reaches forward and plucks a feather.
Oh, that's smart. I must write that down.
And he just grabs a quill and just starts scribbling away.
And she's just fascinated with the feather, and she's just looking at it with a big smile on her face.
So, are you interested in potions at all, or anything similar to that?
Well, I was wondering, do you like this? And he holds up the vial. I know another of your races seems to like poisons. Is that you too?
This is a poison, you say? I don't usually make poisons myself, but I certainly can take a look at it if you need to know more about it.
That would be great. Do you know what kind of poison it is?
I can do. I can use my identification service. Of course, I am a merchant at the end of the day. Would you be willing to pay for such an endeavor?
I'm sure the Lord would be willing to pay. I mean, this is for him.
He kind of looks at you. You are here on the Lord's business. What is it?
He's asked us to investigate the assassin.
Oh, really?
Can I insight check him?
Yeah, okay.
Because he's being too shifty. Natural 1. Nope.
I mean, he's quite a shifty tiefling. Like, you know, in your experience, tieflings generally live on the fringes of society, whether through any fault of their own, you're not sure. But this one is hard to read.
The Lord, you say? That is, what the hell? Let's put this on the house, shall we?
And he kind of dips a long finger into the jar and pulls out a little bit.
Oh, no. Oh, this is the Black Mamba. It is popular with assassins and you know, spies and the sort. The kind of ne'er-do-wells I would never want to host in my establishment. Yes, I'm sure if you found this on the assassin, then they must have used this. Or tried to.
And you don't know where this is made? How someone would get that here?
It's not something that I would know how to get here. Possibly you could have got in from Waterdeep. I know that there are many organized criminal organizations out that way. Or, well, if you know the Zentarim, they would not be beyond using such means.
Would you be able to create this poison out of local ingredients, or does it need ingredients from afar?
No, you are right. It does have one vital ingredient that is more exotic. It is a sort of orchid. It's a purplish hue. It is not common around the Sword Coast.
Where is it common?
You know, across the sea, in the what is it, Lantern? I think possibly has such a thing. Or else out east. You never know what you will find out in the unapproachable east.
So you don't sell it then?
No, I would never sell such a poison. No, I sell things that help to help illuminate your life, to bring either vitality or else help you see things. Sorry?
So you're a drug dealer then?
Or feathers.
I am not a drug dealer, I am a potion dealer, but yes, I am experimenting with new potions, and this one seems to have backfired. It just makes you sprout feathers for some reason. But my most impressive thing is a potion of seeing. Honestly, your eyes just pop right open. You think you see things normally when you take this potion. It's like you're seeing into a different dimension. It is crazy.
A different dimension?
Honestly, your awareness is heightened to such an extent. It is euphoric almost.
I want that potion.
Where do you keep all the potions, Salazar?
Well, I keep my most important ones behind the counter. Oh, I see where you're going with this. This potion pulls out this one potion. It's like a kind of violet color. This potion of seeing is my prized possession, and I can sell it to you for only 200 gold pieces.
Come now.
It is very rare indeed, my friend. This is a good price.
Come now.
Come now where?
It's not a good price. That
oh.
is. That's another discussion we can have later. I like tieflings. Let's talk about the price first.
Yes, 200 gold pieces.
That is way too expensive, my friend. You know it and I know it.
So, are you going to make a counter proposition, perhaps?
Oh no, here we go.
Oh no.
I honestly do not believe this is worth more than 5.
Well, clearly you are not an expert on potions, my lady. Have you ever heard of?
I just lift my satchel and show the vials in my bag. I do know a thing or two about potions.
Well, clearly you do not know this one. Have you heard of True Sight?
I have.
I believe this potion grants you exactly that. You'll be able to see everything, including things that are hidden.
And I assume this is one of your experiments that might backfire.
No, this one is tried and tested.
Says you, because you want to make 200 gold. I have just seen feathers sprout on your face. Forgive me if I don't quite have your confidence.
Perhaps you would like to try before you buy.
That would be agreeable.
I'd like to try before I buy.
You can't both buy. So you know I can let one of you try it, but obviously there is only one person for sale, so it will take me some time to brew another one, a few days maybe. But if you are looking to seriously purchase, I can give you a small sample.
Nira looks at the cleric. How badly do you want this?
I just want to try it. He said I could try it. Seems like an experience.
Nira wants this quite badly.
What Nira wants, Nira gets.
He just pours out he pulls out like almost a shot glass. Pours a little bit. Just kind of swirls it around. You can see it's almost got a viscous quality to it.
Mm-hmm.
And
holds it up. So, which of you will be trying the potion of seeing?
Dash sticks his hand out.
Okay, my gangly friend, here you are.
Nira snatches it out of his hand first.
Oh. All right. You can do so. He's caught unawares, Salazar. So you can do. No. He's completely caught unawares. You can snatch it. He wasn't. He doesn't really care which of you takes it. So yeah, you can take it.
What about you, Dad? Are you gonna contest it?
No. He's just like what? Doesn't even know what just happened. He put his hand out. He's expecting that.
All right. She will down the potion without hesitation.
Okay.
We've got a snatcher, have we?
Yes.
Snatcher and a gulper. It's just gone in one.
Suddenly.
Well, have you tried the potion of seeing?
Mm-hmm.
Suddenly, the entire area around you, although it was dingy before, it's now completely illuminated, and you can see just from your sight. Nobody else sees this. You can. The doors at the end of the room, you can see through them, and you can see that there's a table beyond with a few notes on it behind these double doors. Are you wanting to do anything while this effect is up?
How long does it last?
Literally a few seconds.
Oh. Okay. I want to look around for. What do I want to look around for? I didn't think it would be so short.
Money.
No. Signs of this poison being made or brewed in the store.
Just looking around, you can see, kind of like when you have the. kind of like when you have like infrared lights, or UV light, sorry, that's put around, and you can it's like a Jackson Pollock painting. There's just like stuff everywhere, like markings all over the place. You can see that, especially around the counter where and around the alchemical supplies where it seems that Salazar has been brewing. And then just like that, snaps back to your normal sight, and he's just looking at you like. With a massive grin on his face going, pretty good, right?
Honestly, the only thing I could see is the mess in here.
Then you see more than the rest of these folks.
No, I don't think so. That didn't seem to be worth much.
Well, that is a shame. But anyway, if you need any other potions, I am here.
Maybe you didn't do right. Maybe I should try. Maybe I should try. Maybe.
Make a persuasion check.
Oh no, 8 total.
If I had to give free samples to everyone who asked for them of this particular potion, there would be none left, my friend. Maybe try tomorrow.
Okay, tomorrow then I'll be back.
Very good.
Okay, Mr. Salazar, I'm not going to ask you for any tasters, so you can calm down a bit now. But if you were to make a poison, could you make an effective poison out of local ingredients rather than the one that we've just shown you? If you knew what you were doing. I'm not suggesting you're the sort of man who would make a poison, but often a poison and a medicine are very closely linked. So
that is an astute observation. I mean, of course, there are many fungi and so on that would be poisonous. And we have poisonous beings here as well. Snakes are not uncommon, or other sort of venom-carrying. We have spiders, giant spiders. I know that there is a lot of them up in Neverwinter Wood. They certainly would be able to deliver some kind of venom, yes. But
so would you say that it's surprising that someone used a poison from a distant land rather than something they could find locally if they had the skills?
I don't find it particularly surprising if it was in the hands of an expert. You see, whilst you could put together some kind of poisoned, throw things together here, it is not going to be as potent as one of these more exotic ingredients that are specifically made for this particular reason.
Thank you, Mr. Salazar. That's very informative.
I aim to please, sir. I am all things alchemical, or alchemical, if you will.
What about Jenny? Was she acting normal in the last couple of days before she?
Ginny, and his face kind of drops a little bit. I know that Todd in particular was very upset at her demise. She is a loss to us all, but well, the only thing that I remember was that she was very happy, more so than usual. I think that she may have come into some money or perhaps a new love,
Where was her stall? Where was her shop?
It was just outside the glassblower's stall.
Right.
Todd is the gnome of the hunting stall. He's a good person to talk to if you want to find out more about Ginny. It is such a shame that she was found as the assassin. That's hard to believe.
It is, isn't it?
Very.
Yeah, we heard that she was had a room at the local inn. Which one would that be? We want to go and take some flowers,
Oh, that'll be the road less travelled.
Yeah, do you know where it is in there? I mean, it's a big old inn as far as I know.
I don't know which room she was in. I never had the pleasure myself. But Todd would know. He uses the room next door, I believe.
I will ask him, that's good.
Okay.
Let's go up and talk to Todd.
Before we leave...
Yeah.
Orpheola just turns around kind of like languidly and goes, if feathers weren't the intended effect, what was?
Oh, this latest one I am trying to produce is it is you know how mages and so on, they are rather flimsy. I was hoping to create something that would perhaps bolster their resolve a bit.
Can I see if he's telling the truth? I assume he is, but I just want to check.
Sure.
Just roll an insight check there.
Yeah, insight, please.
What'd you get?
19.
19.
16 plus 3.
You sense that he is that he's being truthful here, but you also get, because you rolled well, you also get the vibe that he's perhaps a bit more self-interested in this, and maybe this is for his own benefit that he's trying to brew this particular potion.
Oh, okay. So he thinks he might be in danger.
Or at least
Possibly.
looking to protect himself, yeah.
Okay, interesting. I'll wait until we're outside to tell people that, but...
Okay.
Nira, just based on what he just said, casts mage armor on herself.
Okay.
And looks him in the eye.
Just...
That's most impressive trick.
Yes. Shall we go find Todd?
Oh, he won't be hard to find. He's just outside.
Alright.
How secure is this building, Jack?
So it's a stone building. There aren't really any windows that you can see, and as far as you can tell, there's just the front entrance. There's double doors at the back. You don't know if beyond that there is another exit route, and you did clock that there is a tower at the rear.
Yeah, I made note of the tower. That goes up from the first story, doesn't it? That is the first story. Sorry. So wooden doors.
Wooden doors, yes.
And the roof is tiled, pitched, hay.
Tiled.
Mm-hmm.
This is some in-depth scouting that's going on here.
I feel like there's going to be a Manu and Barton stealing spree that's going to go on for the next 2 days.
When we leave town, I've made a note, Barton, of all the places worth knocking off.
Well done.
Right, I walk out the front and I shout out at the top of my lungs, Todd the Laughing Gnome! Where are you?
And you hear there's Sorry, you're following out. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say I'm following out, and as soon as we're outside, I tell Rurik only about what I saw beyond the double doors, and about the signs of brewing.
I just sort of like,
Just something we should keep in mind.
You hear there's a commotion from a stall not far from you, and you see that there was a couple of customers just looking over some of these pelts and so on, and Todd's this short gnome, forest gnome. You can tell straight away he's decked out in leathers and a green cloak, with kind of scruffy hair. Kind of hops up onto his stall and he's like, "Watcha? So somebody summoned me, did they?"
I just go, ugh, God.
And he kind of looks at you and he kind of copies your face back. I mean, I've met a few dwarves before, but that's not normally how they communicate, sir. Is you having a stroke or something? Is everything all right?
Give you a stroke in a minute, you cheeky little bastard.
Oh, yeah, you got to pay for that, sir, I'm afraid.
Rurik, behave.
Got you there, Rurik.
We're never going to get that beer this way.
So, are you interested in hunting at all? You don't really look like the sorts. Well, maybe
I
the
hunt
dwarf. No. Well, there's no chance of that today.
Hey, I see what you did there. No, Mr. Gnome, we're here to talk to you about your girlfriend.
What? And he just
dead
like,
girlfriend.
and you see that his cheeks kind of flush up at this, oh.
Yeah, the dead one. The one that's dead.
Well,
in the tent.
Well, Ginny wasn't my girlfriend, but
yeah, but
that's
she's
not what
dead.
everybody's saying. It's kind of implicating you in the assassination attempt, you know.
And he just like looks a bit sullen at this. Like he kind of looks a bit dejected. What do you want to know?
Well, I believe it's a fit up. So, tell us what you know. Let's get you out of trouble.
Well, Ginny's she was a sweet lady. Honestly, she couldn't harm a fly. She'd never kill anyone. She'd never try and kill Lord Ophid. Honestly.
What about you? Would you want to kill him?
No, but obviously, if he has had some involvement in Ginny's demise.
So you are. Sedition.
I'm a hunter, mate. I mean, you know, at 20 yards, I could put an arrow right between your eyes.
Really?
I like him, Rurik. Be nice to him.
I want to snap his neck.
Isn't that true of most people you meet?
What, you mean like this? And he's just like, put his head down to one side.
Oh, come on, I like him. Let's keep this one.
Well, the only other thing so Ginny stayed in a room next to me in the road less travelled, and she's well, she wasn't my girlfriend, but she started dating a new man. She wasn't really telling me much about him, some sort of man of mystery, you know. Never told me his name or nothing.
Why would the Lord, the little prick Ophid, why would he want her dead?
Honestly, I have no idea. It's beyond me.
All right, okay. Tell us about the mystery man then.
Not much to tell, mate. All I understood is that she's been going off and seeing him over the last few nights before she died. She was happy as Larry going to meet him. Eh?
Meeting him in the woods, no doubt.
I don't know where exactly they went, but maybe. You're not suggesting she was dating a warden, were you?
Not until you mentioned it, no. What do you know about the wardens?
And then at this, he sort of looks around to make sure he's not being overheard, and then kind of waltzes up to you and... Right, meet me in the back of Alchemical in about 1 hour, in a back room. We need to talk.
Okay. And I just get into the back of Alchemical by going...
Yeah, you're right next to it. Just give me an hour, and then he's just like heads back over to his stool, and you can see that he's starting to sort of pack it away.
Okay.
So it looks like you got a little bit of time before you meet with him, if there's anything else you wanted to do.
Well, I want to go and see Luna in the pub.
Oh, and Death wants to go back to where the body is.
Okay. What was it you wanted to do, Death, with the body?
He wanted the pendant.
Ah, great. Okay. We'll do that first. That'll be pretty quick. So you go back to the temple as the others head on towards the inn, so you know to meet them there later.
Yeah.
And so Brother Peel has said, asks your business and say about the pendant. Well, if it would help with your investigation, of course, and it leads you down there and hands over the pendant. And as he does so, he places it in your hand. He says, if you're looking to find out more about metalwork, I would heartily suggest the smithy, Sparks. He's on the west side of town, run by Arhan. He's a red dragonborn, and he's a grumpy sort, but I imagine it would be most helpful to your investigation.
Thank you. That is very helpful. Thank you, Brother Peel.
No problem at all, my child. Go with the god's grace. Anyway, as for the rest of you then, as you start heading back. So you head towards the road less travelled. Now, this inn has it's in a very central location in the town. It's a grand sort of 3-story wattle and door building. It almost rivals Amphail Manor with just how large it is. This one has many hanging baskets and benches lining the frontage. And there's a 12-foot statue standing opposite it to commemorate Amphail the Just, the founder of Amphail, which some of you will recognise straight away. Also hanging around this statue as you start heading towards the inn, springing out from behind it is a street performer of sorts with a sort of strange azure skin tone. And a frost-white tuft of hair sits on top an otherwise bald head, so he's got like the short back and sides essentially. He seems strangely underdressed as well, wearing an open black duster jacket, no shirt, and grey shorts. And he sort of springs out and announces to you, "Greetings, travellers! I sense you seek something you can sense, but you can't yet see."
I can't see your clothes.
And he goes. And he goes up to Rurik and looks him dead in the eyes, and he passes his hands in front of your face repeatedly, saying, "Perhaps what you're looking for is right under your nose. And then he clicks his fingers, and appearing in his hand is a pair of scissors, which he then passes to you.
What do you want me to do with these? Stab you with them?
Oh, you're too kind. You're too kind. Just ignores you and bows to everyone. Thank you, Carapticus the Conjurer. Just a poor entertainer trying to make his way, and pulls out like a small sort of coffer box and starts rattling it at you. Your patronage is much appreciated.
I'll give him his scissors back in the box.
Put them in the box. Oh.
I give him 2 silver.
Thank you, my lady. That's most appreciated. And remember,
I like
if
your
you
color. I like your color.
Thank you. I have worn it myself since I was born. Yeah, if you guys, if you need any more tricks, or I do parties, I do bookings, I'm pretty available right now. So,
What was your name, mate?
Carapticus the Conjurer.
How much would it take for me to pay you to go and perform in that inn over there, as loudly as you can?
Oh, what? As in the road less traveled, right here?
Yeah, that's the one.
Well, I'm open to negotiations. Name your price?
Well, you're the entertainer. What's your going rate?
Well, I mean, it depends how long you want me for. And if you want me for an hour, that'll probably be, it kind of looks you up and down. Yeah, let's say 10 gold pieces for the hour.
How about 10 minutes, but it's really loud?
For 10 gold pieces, sure. Oh, you're saying you want to pay less. Oh, of course. Right. Yeah. Yeah, well, 5 for 10 minutes? Sure. I'll do it.
Yeah, why not?
All right. Any particular thing you want me to perform, or anyone to distract, or anything?
Just the most bawdy thing that you've got. Yeah, lowest tone. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Something really sexy.
That's it, yeah. Manu, yeah.
I think I have just the thing.
Appeal to the lowest common denominator.
By which he means us.
And he kind of gives you a cocky wink, and then sort of heads on towards.
Oh wait, sorry, mate.
Into the inn.
Can I come and get you when I need you? Is that all right?
Oh, you don't want to perform now?
No, give it a second.
Oh.
We'll give you the nod.
Well, you've got the money already. I might not come back, but.
I mean, that's a really good point. I could just leave, but I'm not going to. I'm saying I could.
No, you shouldn't.
Yeah.
Really.
Sure. Yeah, I can do something. I'm sure. I'll tune up my lyre or whatever.
Yeah, do that.
Alrighty then. I will wait for your command.
I'll pull Manu aside and just say, look, I need a distraction, and I'm going to go and sneak upstairs. Tino. That was my other thought. Rurik seems up for it at any stage. So if the song's not working, then maybe punch him in the face.
Yeah, okay.
I feel like you don't need to tell him. Just any, yeah.
No, we'll play along.
Cool. Maybe give him a little wink as you do it.
Got it.
Brilliant. Okay.
Right, I'm striding into the pub.
Sure.
And shouting out, "Luna, where are you, you big wimp?"
All right. So when you enter the inn, the first thing you see is a grand fireplace. Is kind of the centerpiece here. Lots of comfy sofas and armchairs and so on. There's a squat bar to one side where you've got a smiling dwarf with a neatly trimmed ginger beard behind it, just polishing some glasses. And also at the bar, you see standing up to attention straight away, tall, strikingly beautiful blonde human female in hide armor. Which you recognize straight away as Luna, and she just turns with a smile, recognizing your voice straight away, looking around and going, "Well, if my eyes don't deceive me, Rurik Ironballs!
How are you, you big ugly oaf?"
And she runs up and she just starts putting you in a headlock, because, you're a lot shorter, so it's easier to do. And she goes, "I've been keeping well. How about yourself?"
Yeah, I'm all right. I've got somebody else to see as well.
No.
I peek my head like us.
You haven't seen
Rurik
Cass,
reminds.
have you?
No, I haven't.
Oh,
Well,
well,
I do.
oh, near a fade.
Hi,
It's been a
Luna.
little while.
Too long, my dear.
So, what brings you here then?
I'll let Nero
You
do it.
do. You did, of course.
And we've been given a job to do.
Yes,
Oh.
but we wouldn't have come if not for you.
Indeed, we wouldn't.
Oh,
About
you
the assassination attempt on
Oh no, you've
on the
not
little
been-
bloke in the castle.
You've not been led in with this, have you? Ugh, no. Oh, and then, okay, and you've brought friends as well, have you? And she looks at
there's a
looks
few
at-
of them around.
Looks at Orphea and Evan in particular. Yeah, there's a few interesting sorts with you, and oh, who's that at the back? The Harfork. Who's that?
Hello.
That's Manu.
Like it.
Look like, yeah, look like you could carry yourself well, man.
You're tall.
As are you.
Well,
Looks like we'd be good.
Average, really. I'm probably quite. Manu's probably quite half orc as it goes, but
Probably means we're a good match then, eh? They're about the same height.
Manu.
No, darling, I'm right here.
Oh, you know I'm only joking there. That's a woman's got
I mean,
to
if
flirt,
you're
hasn't she?
if you're going to, at least share.
Oh, well, that can be arranged. So,
bloody women.
You want some rum, girls?
So,
I'll never say no to rum.
Shots.
Yes, next one's on me. But before that, Nera, Rurik, you remember Cass that we went on that adventure with the
Yeah,
in the
one-
Mirror of
one
Dead Men?
You were
How
quite
could we
taken
forget?
with him, weren't you?
Well, I guess so. Yes.
Hmm.
Well, he's. I've heard rumours that perhaps he is around here. I've been looking
In
into
what?
it.
Doing what?
I don't know. Last I heard, he was he was dead. So
You're saying he's alive?
I think so. Yes, apparently.
Who's seen him?
It's people around the village just been telling us about someone matching his description, and I've been trying to track him, but seeing if I can get some information from some of the patrons here, but not really turned up a lot so far. So
Do they need a slap?
no, I didn't think that would be required yet. Actually, I haven't yet cased the market or the other inn. Might be worth popping in there if you got time.
Okay. What do you know about Janae?
Other than the assassination attempt, that's not something I know much about. I've been I'm not really in the village much, to be honest. It's only this business that's kind of brought me here.
We heard you were living here.
No, I mean I've got the house, but I don't know. I didn't really go there much, so.
What is it you need to know about the other inn? What you're asking about?
About Kaz.
What does Kaz look like?
Oh, he's he's got long brown locks. He's a half
Half an
elf.
hour.
Human?
No, half elf.
Uh-huh.
Got these sort of bewitching brown eyes, but
Mira's rolling
he's
her
also
eyes so
also
hard.
he's also the sort that if he doesn't want to be found, he won't be.
He's a pain in the ass.
He sounds like some sort of scoundrel. I don't think we've seen him. Have we seen him, Barton?
Don't remember. Especially
Last-
those lovely eyes.
last I knew, he was being bitten in two by a giant crocodile. But the fact that he may have survived, it's curiouser and curiouser.
You know what I find curious, Luna? If he's here, he must know you are too. Why didn't he seek you out?
Yeah, well, yeah. You know, we're always on and off, so maybe we're just off now.
That's an interesting accent you got there, Luna.
Thank you. Yeah. It drifts.
Yeah.
Don't they all?
You must have travelled a lot.
I have travelled, yeah.
We have travelled.
Indeed. Yes. These folks here, we went adventuring together. Seems so long ago.
We stirred up some shit.
Stirred up a hornet's nest. There's no mistake.
Well, if you're all still alive, you're obviously successful.
Apparently so. Yeah.
I'm going to take a walk over to the Ginger Dwarf, chuck him a couple of gold pieces and say, drinks all round.
Thank
you very much. Yeah. And he starts pouring drinks, and everyone's like, "Hey!" And they start descending on the bar, and most generous.
Evan, make sure
it's
he's not at the back
you.
of the queue.
Right. Well, I'm going to continue my investigation, and I'll be here for a while if you need me.
Okay, same here. If you need us, we're here.
Right, so we'll both be here together but apart. Things haven't changed that much since our adventuring days, eh? And she turns and heads on over to the fireplace. So guys, so Dath has caught up with you and is in with you guys as well. You're following her. Okay, great. Something on your mind?
Just making sure that I'm out of earshot.
Okay.
If we do find Kaz, does that mean I don't have a shot?
You know, you always have a short. I mean, you're here, and he's not. So, in my book, that puts you one up.
Yeah, but if finding him changes that, I might not want to find him.
I'll think about it.
You do that. And I walk away.
She's really sinister, isn't she? Yeah.
Sinister and like flirty and dangerous. It's like a
femme fatale.
Yeah.
She's like a succubus.
Yeah, like a succubus. Yeah. So, what do the rest of you want to do in the inn?
I'm just drinking.
Evan has got a drink in his hand and he's looking to see what food is on offer. Because, you know, it's the old soldier's code, get a drink in your hand and get some food, you know, whenever you can. You never know when you might not have any. So, yeah.
I'll walk up to Dath and just before any breaks, share with him the letters that I found. You were saying you had arcane interests, correct? Oh, if you're speaking, I can't hear you.
Very, very much so. Very much so. Why? Why do you ask? What these?
I believe these have some sort of spell on them. I believe there's some form of illusion here. Could you have a look?
Oh, I can. It's too bad you didn't have these with the potion. That potion would have been great for these. Maybe if I get the set.
Very good point. I forgot about that completely.
Hindsight's beautiful.
Oh, yep.
Sorry, I was wanting to say something desperately, but
that's the game.
Yep. She'll just look up, mumble to herself, and say, "Auntie, you should have said something." And hands it over to you.
All right. I guess I'll look at them. I with Arcana check. What?
Oh, with the letters.
With the Arcana?
Yes.
The
Okay,
one
and
on the tower.
Yeah, I'll use guidance, I guess.
Okay.
So, oh, this is where it ends. Let's see.
You've been good all day.
Yeah, I know. All day.
It has to turn at some point.
I still had guidance, so it's not great. But what did it, in the end, it's 11, which is terrible.
11.
I think that's my highest roll so far.
You can't. I mean, you get an aura of magic from it. You can only trust Nira's judgment on what she's told you about it. Really, that you're not getting anything else from it.
Okay. Maybe we should look at it together. I think you've displayed some acuity to magic as well.
I do. The magic one he gives me anyway.
Yes, so because maybe I can help you look at them together. So we take some
try
time.
that.
Yeah.
So if you two want to look at it together, then I'll say that you can do so, but it will probably take up most of the time now, up until your appointment with the gnome, as you kind of try to examine it further.
Yeah. That is. I mean, this is the kind of thing that he.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Cool. Okay. So
are we doing
we'll
anything
come
in
back
the?
to you.
Yeah.
We're just about to smash it up and rob it.
Excellent.
No, rob it first, then smash it up. The order is very important.
And so Evan, the barkeeper hands you over a pint and a bread roll to go with it. Hang on. Where's my voice going?
Crawford.
I thought that was Luna.
No. Sorry,
He's moonlighting
now.
behind the bar.
Hello.
It's Jones the barkeeper.
I hear you are the investigators looking into this assassination. Is that right?
Jack, my Welsh blood is boiling right now.
I'm trying so hard.
But it's fantastic.
Hard.
Keep doing it.
It's really difficult to I keep switching accents. It's difficult. Anyway, I'm hopefully not offending the Welsh too much. Here we go.
Yes, we're investigating the assassination attempts. What have you heard? You must be in a position to hear all the local gossip.
Well, I am
Yes,
indeed, and of course I would do anything to help you. Well, you see, the Wardens, they've existed in the Westwood for as long as I can remember, but there's never been any trouble with them until that first assassination only a few months ago. Now,
was that the first sign of trouble?
Yes, there's been nothing but peace between us before then.
It does seem strange.
It does indeed. And Ginny, she was a sweet girl and a talented glassblower. There's no question of that. But she rented one of the rooms upstairs.
We won't ever see any of her blowing ever again. It's a tragedy.
And just kind of tilts a drink up.
Stay out of this conversation, Orc.
Evan says. He raises a glass to Manu and before turning back to Evan, just giving him that knowing look like this guy. Well, so she's been renting the room one of the rooms upstairs. She's been here for over a year. I'm shocked that she was the assassin all along.
It does seem strange. You didn't find her suspicious in any way. She was always a good customer of yours.
No, she was not suspicious. I mean, no, she wasn't suspicious at all. The only thing that was slightly different was in the last few nights before her death. She was very glamorous, and she disappeared out most evenings before she died.
Did you notice when she came back? Was it late? Did she come back while you were still awake, or was she?
Yes, it was very late. Yes, and if you don't mind me saying, I hate to speak so of the dead, but there were a few, I believe they're called love bites on her neck there.
So she was meeting a paramour of some description, you believe?
I believe so.
But only the last few days.
Only in the last few, yes. 3 or 4 before she died, yes.
So that is interesting. I've heard other people say such a thing because it does seem shocking for someone to have turned, because she seems like such a stalwart of the village.
Oh, she was the heart and soul. I mean, you know, the gnome that she hangs around with, I'm not so sure of. He talks far too much, but yeah, she was. I have no scruples. She was a lovely girl.
Well, it's what people have told, and so that is why it's so important that we understand the full occasion of what happened.
Of course, and you hang around with the Order of the Gauntlet, don't you?
Yes, I'm hoping to join them. I hope I can prove my worth.
Well,
finding out, bringing peace to this village.
I hope so. It would be a great service to the village, not just to the Order.
That's very kind of you to say so. Is there anything in particular you think the Gauntlet should be paying attention to?
Only what I've shared with you already. It is most uncharacterful for Jinae, but I mean, if you like, you could search her room if that was something you wish to do.
I think that would be a very good place to start, because the more we know, the quicker we can get to the bottom of this. Because no one, this has disturbed the whole town, hasn't it? And it must be troublesome for an honest businessman like yourself.
Of course, it's cast a shadow, and people don't drink so much when they're depressed, or when they do, it's not a healthy amount that we like to see,
So would you mind if we took a look at her room now? Is that
of course. Brother Peel came by a couple of days ago and brought back her personal effects from her that I have returned. They're on the bed in the room. I will show you up.
Thank you very much. That sounds very generous of you.
And he calls out to the barmaid to kind of cover the bar, and then kind of leads you upstairs. If anyone else would like to come, you are
yes,
welcome.
I look around my colleagues to see if there's anyone else who wants to join the party.
Barton definitely would.
I'm sorry, are you talking to me again?
Well, I sort of grudgingly sort of look over at the half-orc, but
that's our busy.
Barton and winks.
That's right, you can beat him up later. Just let me go and have a look.
Alright, so for those of you heading upstairs then, you're taken to the third room along, and Bryn, the barkeep, just fiddles with the keys and before opening the door, and shows you in. And you can see that Ginny's room has a double bed and a couple of furnishings, bedside table, desk, small metal utensils,